that has the most exalted mood of the Parshas in Bamidbar. The Jewish people are going to sing a song, Ali Be'er Enula. The Jewish people are going to make war against their enemies. They're going to destroy Sifon and Og. And the Jewish people are ready to go there to Israel, even though they are aware that Moshe Rabbeinu will not accompany them. So that is a level of maturity that it took, so to speak, 40 years for the Jewish people to develop when they were in the desert. Because we see the first time that they notice that Moshe is not with them, the ego, the golden calf, is the result of it. So Ish Moshe lo yadanu mehoyolo. We don't know where Moshe is. Without Moshe, we're lost. And therefore, we have to create this false god, a different form of worship. Now, when they are told that Moshe won't be there, it's not that they are sanguine about it, but they shake it off easily. They say, okay, we're going to go, we're going to do it. Masilo Nale will go up on the great highway. We will defeat our enemies. We will inherit the land. All the promises will be fulfilled, even without Moshe. But that's a level of achievement that the Torah wishes to emphasize to us. So there are many lessons involved here. First of all, the main lesson is that the Jewish people are never dependent upon one person, no matter how great that person is. And we find the Mefarshim Justice, Meshachachu, and others, that part of the reason that Moshe will not go there to Israel is because if he brought them there to Israel, we would think that Moshe brought them there to Israel. We would attribute it to Moshe personally, to the greatness of Moshe. And the Torah doesn't want us to do that. And so that's one lesson here, that the Jewish people are able to arise and be strong. It's a mood change in the middle of the parsha. It's not a mood of sadness anymore. It's not a mood of what are we going to do? It's not the mood that was by the Meraglim, when they said, Kulanu avodnu, we're lost. The giants will destroy us. It's not the mood of Bolok either, because there we are dependent upon the flattery of the nations of the world. We like to hear what Bilam had to say about us. So we have adopted it as part of our ethos throughout the centuries. But that's not what's going to do it for us. What's going to do it for us is what we're going to do. What is our strength? What is our response? And that the Torah tells us. The Jewish people rise up. They form an army. They do battle with their enemies. They conquer. They're able to be strong. Even though they're aware that Moshe Rabbeinu, who led them out of Egypt and brought down the Torah from Sinai to them, and has nursed them through the entire 40 years in the desert, will no longer be there, but the Jewish people will be there. And if the Jewish people are there, so then that's it. That's the story. We have seen that to a certain extent in the current events. The mood has changed. The mood before is that we couldn't. We have to come to all sorts of accommodations. We have to do all sorts of things against our own self-interest because we can't fight the whole world. So therefore we are satisfied with half measures, with incomplete victories, with struggles that really lead nowhere. That's a history of 50, 60, 70 years here. The day after the 6-Day War ended, so Moshe Dayan said he's waiting for King Hussein to call him because he wants to give back to King Hussein all the territory of the West Bank. Because how can it be that we should have to somehow rule the West Bank? And in every successive crisis over all of the past 60, 70 years of every year a new crisis, the mood is always, we cannot. The problem is greater than us. It's insoluble. So therefore, we have to make the best of whatever the situation is. So we have to agree with Iran having nuclear weapons if they promise not to use them. We have to agree to all sorts of things because we can't do it. And that's a prevalent mood. It's a mood that guides how people live. So there's an entire field today called venture capitalism. venture capitalism basically is people, most of the time wealthy people, invest money in an idea that is not yet proven, or in a company that has no assets. But we ventured to do so because in our mind it's going to be good. So if you bought 40 years ago, then you're a very wealthy person today. Now, for every time that there's an apple, there's squash too. There are those that are not successful. Most venture capital is unsuccessful. The idea is an idea, but it doesn't work out. The company is a company, but it's not really a company. Sometimes people are scammed. Doesn't work out. Yet the greatness of the capitalist system and of the economy as we know it is that we all feel that it's worth it. It's worth the 900 failures in order to get the one apple. So it's worth it financially, it's worth it socially, it's worth it in every respect for civilization. So there has to be a certain mood for venture capitalism to succeed and exist. And there are plenty of venture capitalist companies that have failed. But I heard this week that last year there were more than 80,000 startups that were looking for venture capital. And we all know that out of the 80,000, 79,900, maybe even 999, will prove to be unworthy of investment. But it's the mood of the investor. What does he think? He thinks that this one is going to do it. And the truth is that half the time in life, if we believe that we'll be successful, then we are successful. If we believe in ourselves, so I remember that in third grade or fourth grade, the teacher gave an exam, and the exam was in math. I wasn't particularly good in math. I wasn't interested in it. So I just said, I can't do it. And the teacher said, no. You should never say you can't do it. You may say, I won't do it. You may say it doesn't appeal to me. You may even say, I don't care. You can't say, I can't do it. And Chazal therefore set for us very lofty goals. Mosai Yagil Masai Lamasai Avosai. When can I be like Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Boaz. So you have to believe that somehow, in some respect, in one iota be there. And that's again this week's Parsha. Oh, now we're going up. Masila Nale, we're going up on the highway. No one's going to stop us. Moshe isn't going to be there. Okay, so we'll do it without Moshe. Bilam doesn't like it, so we'll do it without Bilam. Sichon and all going to make a war. We'll do it with Sichon and all making war. But we're going to do it. That's the shift in mood that occurs in the Parsha. The shift from pessimism and weakness to doubting oneself. All of the great intellectual professors who continually decry Israel because they can't do it, so therefore Israel can't do it. We all know now that America never would have bombed Iran if Israel had not, for 10 days, gone to war against Iran. So you'll say, well, Iran is 90 million people. There's an army of hundreds of thousands of missiles. It's 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. Let's come to an accommodation. The one time in the history of the state of Israel when the Israeli people, that it's the people that propelled the government. The people are stronger than the government. When the people said, we can do it, we're not going to accommodate ourselves to what others think. We're not going to let others write as to what's good for us. So then we can be successful. We can do magical things. We can be a power. And that's true in individual life as well. Person has to always attempt, always has to try. Can't give up. Can't give up on family, can't give up on neighbors, can't give up on the community. Because you never know. This was Chazal meant when they said, be careful about what you think is an easy mitzvah. So if it was a hard mitzvah, I certainly wouldn't even try. But an easy mitzvah, okay, maybe I can do it. You have to treat the easy mitzvah like it's the hard mitzvah. And if you can accomplish the easy one, then you'll accomplish what you consider to be the hard one as well. That's part of the mood of the people. So these parshas are the end of the Torah, really, because the next Chumash in a few weeks is Chumash Dvorim. It's Mishnah Torah. It's a different tone than the first four books of the Chumash. But the Torah at the end tells us we have the Torah tells our individuals, Yoel ben Menashe. He wrote and he conquered cities and he called them on his name, Chavos Yoel. And the Torah always says, Ad hayom hazeh, till today. May not be until today. I don't know if we have cities that are exactly the cities that he conquered. Archaeology is a very inexact science. Ad hayom hazeh means until today you have to have this attitude. This attitude that you can do it. That if the Lord gave you a gift, I can employ it correctly. Good things can happen. But it does not happen without our efforts, and without our sacrifice, and without the costs that are involved. In the beginning of the Torah, we are told that Adam Rishon and Chava driven out of Gan Eden and sent into the world Leovdo L'Shomro, to develop it and to guard it. Now, however we understand the first Parsha of the Torah, which has to be understood on so many different levels, and we really never really understand it. But they wanted to stay in Gan Eden. They didn't want to go anywhere. Well, what's wrong with Gan Eden? If I offered you a condo in Gan Eden, you'd probably interested to buy it. But Gan Eden had no challenges to it. It's an oasis in the middle of nothing. And the purpose was Leovdo L'Shomro, that human beings were put here to develop the world and to guard it, to advance it, to give life meaning, give everything a sense of eternity. So that's how we're moved. That's how we have to look at things. The old Greek example, which the Gemara quotes also, that two people were building a wall. And when they were asked what they were doing, so one person said, well, he's building a wall. And the other person said, no, I'm building a palace. The wall is part of the palace, but I'm building a palace. I'm not just building a wall. And we all build our own palace. The mystics of the Jewish people say that everybody builds their place in the world to come. According to our ambition and according to our talent. So what are we building? So when it comes to Eretz Yisrael, we're building eternity. We're building the ultimate palace. And even though at times it doesn't look like it, so anyone who is in construction knows, you build off a blueprint. If you make a mistake on the blueprint, you move the wall a few inches from where it should have been. Eventually, the building can collapse because you're not careful on the detail. Even though when you may think you're building this great building. The Torah came to combine those two ideas of absolute loyalty to detail, which are the Taryag mitzvahs, but of having an ambition, a vision, an understanding of what is going on here, of the greatness of the moment. Every great moment has its challenges. That's what makes it great. The Torah says, "Laman tisaper b'oznei bincha v'en bincha." You have to tell this over to your children and to your grandchildren. What we have experienced in the last few years, I guess eventually somebody will write a book about it. But that won't tell the story. The personal story of each and every one of us. How our mood changed. How we saw things differently. How we regained our ambition and our confidence. How we became the strongest people on earth. And the Parsha really emphasizes that to us. So we won't have Moshe to lead us. But we have his Torah. We have our tradition. We have our destiny. And we have our own personal strength and loyalty, which alone will be sufficient to guide us to great and good days. So have a Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and thank you. I hope to be able to teach Pirkei Avos tomorrow at 4:00. And I'll 6:20. Yeah. Thank you.